Good afternoon, and I wanted to talk to you about smelly vaginas. Not a topic maybe you were expecting me to talk about today, and this comes from a post that popped up on my social media feed about a passenger plane that had to make a landing due to an offensive odour coming from a female passenger's vagina. Now, this story was actually debunked. It was proven to be a fake news story. However, it is a good opportunity to talk about. It is a good opportunity to talk about the problem that many women have, which is bacterial vaginosis, or BV for short. And it actually isn't a very funny subject at all, and is very distressing for the women concerned, and can go on for years and years and years. So, what can we do about it? Well, surprisingly, quite a lot. And in terms of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, it's quite a simple thing to sort out. Now, what we have to do is differentiate between something life-threatening like a tampon that has been left internally, and that is extremely dangerous. And you also have sexually transmitted infection. Now I'm just going to read it out because I can never remember how to pronounce it. So it's a trichomoniasis, and it's a sexually transmitted infection. That doesn't mean that your partner has cheated. What it can mean is that they maybe have contracted an infection with a previous partner and it's never been treated. So ongoing, it can be years that this has been going on. It doesn't mean that anybody has been unfaithful in the relationship now. Bacterial vaginosis is not a sexually transmitted infection, so let's be really clear with that so we don't have to worry about that side of it. And the reason it can happen is there can be an overgrowth of very specific bacteria in the vagina, and this is why with many clients we ask them to get a vaginal microbiome test done, because repeat infections that are not responding to antibiotics, maybe there's something else going on and we need to check the entire microbiome out. One of the things that can also occur with BV is the discharge can be grey or white and quite thin. Now, the STI can be more of a fishy smell, but BV can also be fishy as well, even though people more associate an STI with the fishiness. The other symptom is that it can get worse after sex. So if you're noticing that there is more of a problem after you've had intercourse, then definitely this needs checking out. BV is also very different to a classic yeast infection or Candida, which can be accompanied by intense itching and discomfort and burning sensations, although some women with BV do also get burning and itching, but that you will notice a difference. The discharge with Candida or thrush as we know it, and remember we can get oral thrush as well as vaginal thrush, the discharge will be thick and it will actually resemble cottage cheese. So if you're not sure, using clean hands, put your fingers in and scoop out, especially around the cervix, and have a look at what that discharge looks like. And I know some people are very squeamish. You can wear gloves. Be careful with your nails if you've got long nails, because you do not want to damage those delicate vaginal membranes internally. So check what it looks like. If it's cottage cheese, the chances are it's thrush. So in Chinese medicine, we look at any kind of excessive discharge. We're not talking about your normal vaginal discharge, but excessive discharge as a sign of accumulated damp. And we have different scales of it. We go from things like, we call it dye. And the dye is the daimai, which is the belt that goes around the body and can accumulate dampness. So we have white dye, we have green dye, yellow dye, and also red dye, which is very severe, and that would include blood. But anyway, so we're talking about dampness that's accumulated, that's also meshed in with heat in the body. And so what we would do is we would need to clear all that dampness away, and that would include doing dietary changes. We would advise lifestyle, so we're talking about how you wash. Now, some soaps can definitely aggravate this. So we would be wanting to use natural soaps. And natural soaps, we're talking about things like cold processed soaps, which is one of the things that I make, and this one has colloidal oatmeal, so it's very soothing. It has activated charcoal, so it's cleansing as well, but there's no smell to it. It's just natural oils and butters, and it's very, very delicate on the skin. I mean, this also is great for irritated skin, like itchy skin, like with eczema, but this is great for any kind of intimate area. Obviously, you're not putting it inside, but you're just very gently cleansing the area if you want to go down and use a soap. So a very, 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 very gentle soap with no fragrance. That's really, really important. Absolutely no vaginal sprays. Absolutely not. All this has to stop. If you're using, if you're still menstruating, then you want to not be using things like tampons, because they massively disrupt the vaginal microbiome and cause all sorts of problems. So you have to switch to either, if you really want to use something internal, then a Moon cup, a Diva cup, any of the menstrual cups are much, much better, and they're not going to disrupt the vaginal microbiome like the other products will. You want natural products. You do not want anything that's been bleached, reusables, period pants, anything like that, in order to allow the body to heal itself. And also, if you are using the pants, change them regularly. Don't just use them one for the entire day like you would with a tampon. You have to change it in order to have better hygiene. So in Western medicine, the most common way to treat BV is with antibiotics. Now with Chinese herbs, we look at things, like I said, quite differently. And we've been treating BV for hundreds of years. I'd say 1,000 years we've been treating BV. And we call it, like I said, we call it something different, but what we would now know as BV, we call white dye, green dye, yellow dye. So I wanted to show you one of the herbs that we use quite a lot with these kind of conditions. So we have Huang, this herb here, which is very yellow, and you can see it's very, very bitter. And this is one of the herbs that we use, and I'll explain why in a second. I'm back. I had 2 days between the last video, so we're just talking quickly about Huang, which is one of the main ingredients we use for treating vaginal discharge in Chinese medicine, and I showed you that lovely, beautiful yellow herb. Now, Huang is antimicrobial and has anti-inflammatory properties in it. It's also able to treat inflammation of the mucosa, which is really, really important. Now, Huang has got a really interesting chemical composition. Now, if you do think you have this, don't just go out there and take it, because actually it might not be suitable for you. It's really important to make sure you are consulting a herbalist, a traditional Chinese herbalist who has full qualifications, not somebody that's done a 6-month course. We want a proper degree course, please, people. So one of the main active ingredients that most people know about is berberine. And the studies have shown that they have very broad spectrum antimicrobial properties, and has also been shown to inhibit the growth of things like Candida and fungal infections. So it's an amazing, amazing herb. One of the other things it does is it disrupts the biofilm inside the vagina that things like BV cling to. So it has this like double effect. They also these compounds are able to affect the cytokines, and our cytokines including interleukin 6 or TNF alpha. And so irritation, inflammation, swelling is reduced with the inclusion of this herb. And Huang is very bitter. It's cold. It doesn't taste good. But to be fair, once you start taking the herb in the formula, there's more than one ingredient. We can clear this really fast. Now, I do also like working with people to get internal suppositories, such as a probiotic, vaginal probiotic, and they are really useful as well. So the upshot is we can do a massive amount for things like BV. If you've got thrush, if you've got all these other conditions as well, but I specifically wanted to talk about BV because of this article. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. If you have any questions, please put in the comments, or if you're a bit shy, you don't want to share with whoever's watching, you can message me. My email, info@nicolacourt.co.uk, and we can have a chat. You can book a consultation call, a free 15-minute consultation call, and we can have a chat about how we can help. And yeah, don't believe everything you see on the internet is my final message. See you later.